Good morning and welcome to Adu and the Guru. It's a lovely Monday, the 19th of July. And today's edition is interesting because it's interesting, not just with the news stories that we'll be bringing to you, but because of the format with which the show will be taken. Well, let me just remind you that you can join us on our platforms, WhatsApp predominantly for interaction. Then the WhatsApp number 0809 234 5913. You can use that to get to us, and let's get talking. And it's a single pleasure and honor to introduce to some and present to others the only indefatigable national youth leader of our time, none other than the Guru. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Nadu. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm sure our audience are wondering, how come the Guru is talking digitally to us this morning?
Maybe because the Guru is on transit from somewhere to somewhere.
Well, Guru, you failed to tell the world that you decided to go for a solo vacation without taking me along.
No. The point is that the number of rams I'm carrying with me, there are so many. That's why I left you behind so that you can bring others intact without them running across the border.
Good to have you here, sir.
Nice having you, Adu. How was your weekend?
Weekend was great. Incidentally, saw a few stories that made me chuckle and giggle, but it was great.
Well, on my part, I'm not too sure if I still have the morale to hold the chieftaincy title of national youth leader, because it is like I am disappointing the youth of this country because of events that happened throughout last week. Like I could not coordinate. So I'm taking it seriously, and you are the only one I will consult with, the possibility of signing off from being the national youth leader. We will consider that after we've gone off air, please. You will help me.
I will be glad to be your consultant.
Thank you very, very much. Good morning. This is Lagos Talks 91.3 FM, and this is the segment all of us favorably wait for. The only segment that will not give you a single dull moment on air. The only segment that will reveal everything to you as they are, living on facts and truth of presentations. Adu and the Guru, you are welcome. But even as I welcome you to today's segment, today 19th day of July, I am not too sure if my joy is full. For example, the Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation came up with a letter asking radio and television stations not glamorizing terror attacks. What it says is that anything that has to do with terrorists, kidnapping, banditry, we should not glamorize it. Of course, we shall come to that. Which means, as from tomorrow, when we shall come from Morning Digest, I really wouldn't know how to present the events that are happening. Because this is strictly for the television and the radio stations. One, the conclusion I have always arrived, I never knew that this instruction would come last week when I told the story of what happened in 1984. And before I escaped from Nigeria, traveling all the way to Italy, I wrote an article which I captured, "The righteous shall die by faith." I think we are back to that hour. But thank God that Serap had given the NBC and what have you to withdraw that letter. But that's not the issue. The battle has just started. Or what would you say about the PIB bill that had been answered according to the dictum of some other people? In the studio with me today, I have Obaro Ogade, my expert in petroleum matters, who will talk about the PIB. The PIB had been passed. by both sides. The National Assembly of both chambers, the red and the green chambers, but it's yet to be transmitted to the president for his assent. And it is like it will go, but what will follow, I don't know, because a segment of the country has said they cannot guarantee the peace of the oil industry. Maybe Obaro will say a word about that. Or what do you want to talk about the electoral reform? Is it electoral what? Act.
The amendment.
The amendment to reform. And now I will give you today the number of senators that say yes, no electronic transferring of result, and the number that say no, there should be, and the number of those senators that were absent, those who refused to vote. Most among them are those who want to become president of Nigeria, like Russia's Okorocha, who wants to be president by all means. But at the day of transparent transformation of election results, he absented deliberately from voting. We'll come to all this. But first of all, let us look at the historical perspective, which we have, is not too much than what we have been saying every now and then, because the time to decode it home is here. It says, first they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. What about that? Okay, for now, I think let us try to call the guide of editors of the Nigerian press home, Mustafa Issa, and see if we can get in touch with him to seek his opinion on that terrible letter. Please.
Yes, I'm trying to get to him, Guru, so you can continue whilst I do that.
Okay, all right. Item 3 on our menu, Electoral Act, PIB, sorry, not Electoral Act. The letter that came saying glamorizing, that is item 5. It is short, but it has much to detect, it has much to say. Let us have a short look at it while we try to get breaking. NBC bars broadcast station from glamorizing terror attacks.
Okay, Guru, we have him on now. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Good morning. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. You're live with Adu and the Guru on Lagos Talks. Guru, can you go ahead and speak with him?
Yes. My brother, Mustafa Issa. Nice.
Good morning, sir.
Voice.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, my brother. Thank you very much for willing to pick my call after you had your early morning with the Channels newspaper.
Yeah, that's true.
You must have still been in the terrible traffic by now, I got to believe.
I'm still very much in traffic. You know, I just passed the old toll gate right now.
Okay, you are the president and your guide of editors.
Yes, sir.
Then we received a letter saying NBC bars broadcast station from glamorizing terror attacks, naming victims during newspaper reviews. It means in the review of the newspaper, I cannot tell the public who analyze it that 12 bandits entered in a village, burned down a number of people, played music and had party overnight, or 200 children were abducted from social school. So, is this not a gag of the press? What do you make of it? Please, sir, tell us something about this.
Anyway, thanks for having me on this program this morning. You know, the letter for the NBC came at a time with the battling two bills that are meant to gag the media, and this one coming as a thunderbolt. And unfortunately for us, we don't know where we are headed. Number one, they said that we shouldn't glamorize terror attacks. And I want to look at the meaning of to glamorize something. It means to make something seem to be desirable. Are they saying that the media want attacks to continue? I think the answer is no. Nigerians are only angry because the attacks have been going on unabated. Nigerians are angry because when you see bandits at will just go to a school, kidnap students, innocent students, the media have to stop. And we are.
Hello, can you hear us, sir?
Hello? Hello?
Okay, Guru, I think we lost his call there. Like he said, he's currently in transit. So maybe you just continue with the discussion. Let me get him back.
Let me continue with the discussion. The letter partly reads, headlines of most newspapers on a daily basis are replete with security topics. While bringing information on security to the doorsteps of Nigerians is a necessity, there is a need for caution, as too many details may have an adverse implication on the efforts of our security officials who are duty-bound to deal with the insurgency. The Commission, therefore, enjoins broadcasters to collaborate with the government in dealing with the security challenges by not glamorizing, that's quote, not glamorizing the nefarious activities of insurgents, terrorists, kidnappers, bandits, etc. Advising guests and or analysis on programs not to polarize the citizenry with divisive rhetoric in driving home their point, not giving details.
We have him back now, Guru.
Okay, go ahead. Mustafa, please go ahead.
Yes, so as I said before, the disconnection of my of the call, I'm saying that how can you say that the media is glamorizing terror attacks to bandits and kidnappers? We are also victims. You know, remember that this day office was bombed in Abuja. A journalist was killed by Boko Haram in Kano. Some of our members have been kidnapped. Their relations kidnapped. So there's no way we will glamorize terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. Because Nigerians are not happy that these attacks are happening unabated. You know, so bandits just drive into a school, take 150 students and all that, and take them away. You know, just unchecked. So the media is part of society. We are accountable to the people. When attacks of such happen, you cannot expect the media not to give details. For instance, people want to know the name of the school, how many students were kidnapped, and all that. And you say we shouldn't give details. I don't know. What do they really mean by giving too much details? You get the point. So we are at a loss. I think, from what I get from that letter, it is clear that they are not happy that broadcast stations are reviewing newspapers. That is what I get from there. And I hope that very soon they will stop broadcast stations from reviewing newspapers. I smell the rat.
Okay. Please, let me just ask you one quick question. Do you see it as continuation of a gag against the media, so that the media can only say yes when it is yes and no when it is no? With the freedom of Nigeria people
let me make it very clear like this, sir. When you take freedom away from the media.
Yes.
What you have is just simply public relations. Yeah, that's it. So if they want us not to be free, then there will be we won't be able to do our job. This idea of the media being patriotic, making it look as if it's like that, I don't see where it's coming from. There is a pattern in this country that once people are in power or they are in government, they tend to feel that they are the one that are patriotic, while other Nigerians are not patriotic. It is not true. But let us take a look at the history of the media in Nigeria. We were there when they fighting for independence. We were there when we were fighting against the military to ensure democracy. Then we are patriotic. But now they see us as patriotic. I think it's not wise. But let me say this. We cherish our freedom. Nobody can take it away from us. No matter the attempt we are going to make, we will be free. We are going to polish our job the way it should be done. Our job is to inform the public of happening in society. We will keep doing that. Despite what any attempt they make to try to gang up, they will succeed.
Yes, and Guru, not to even forget that even the very core of broadcast journalism and even journalism general is the 5 W's and the H. The who, the what, the when, the where, the why, the how. And these are questions you must answer.
The 5 W's and the H.
Yes.
And they say we should make the 5 W's to be 2. Maybe they want only 2 W's now.
No, well, then it's no longer good reporting.
The 5 W's and the H.
Yes.
You have the details of the report.
Yes.
What do they want us to leave out? I'm at a loss, really. I don't know. I'm shocked.
Okay, in this now, the last question for you, Mustafa, and I'm very, very grateful that they paid this call. But the last question is this: Do you see journalism as overcoming?
As what?
Do you see journalism as overcoming?
We are not overcome. This is not the first time this is happening. Under the military, we face a lot of challenges. Some of our colleagues were killed. Media houses were shut down completely.
Yes.
And at a point, we were driven to guerrilla journalism. And incidentally, I was part of the guerrilla journalism, in quotes. Let me put it that way, because I was then in the Temple magazine. In the Abacha days, we couldn't go to our offices. Our editor was killed. The other one escaped to the US. So we are still everywhere. We are still publishing. We will always have that. Look, nobody is going to stop us. We'll do our job. That is what we are meant to do. We have another profession apart from journalism. So we are going to do our job the way it should be done.
Thank you very, very much. That's Mustafa. He's president of the Nigeria Guild of Editors. Thank you for speaking with us. We are grateful.
Yes, he's off now.
Yes, now the point is this, Adu, or listeners, let me not talk to Adu now, because this is to the whole world.
Right.
We were now being told that if bandits arrive in a particular village, say my village, and killed 75 people, in the part when this news is being analyzed, I should not mention the number of people that died. I should not mention the type of dresses that the bandits wore. I should not mention either they arrive on Okada or they arrive in a trailer. I should not even measure that the military against them. What next is to be reported? I don't know. Are we moving towards a dark alley of a country that is almost collapsing? I don't know. Now, we can leave that matter and let us look at one small thing, because we give Ogadi a very good time to discuss. The PIB and the Reformation Act, electoral, I don't really know what to say again, have gone to the public, have been won and defeated. But we should not take it, that is the end of it. But there is something that happened there. If we look at item 3, let us just take a look very, very briefly.
That's Electoral Act PIB. Deputy Speaker's COS congratulates Northern Caucus for rubbishing southern lawmakers, it says.
That's good. God bless you, Adu. God bless you. And God bless you mightily. This tells you about the tragedy of 1914. The amalgamation of the South and North is nothing but a big ruse. I have been saying this for years, and I've written about it, and in my coming book, a full analysis of dot by dot, word by word have been explained. Now, Electoral Act PIB, Deputy Speaker, Chief of Staff congratulates Northern caucuses for rubbishing Southern lawmakers. This is the letter. It is not just a word. The Chief of Staff to the Deputy Speaker of the House, Idris Wasi. This is the letter that he wrote, signed, and given to all the Northern caucuses. Please listen. On behalf of the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Ahmed Idris Wasi, and the Northern Caucus leader, Honorable Musa Saki Ada, I am directed to write and formally congratulate and appreciate all the Northern caucuses for standing firm through their wisdom and strength to ensure the Northern interest in both PIB and Electoral Act is adequately placed in a position of advantage. There is no doubt a House united will forever get whatever it wants, given the advantage we have inside. May God Almighty continue to unite and bind us stronger. May He bless and reward us all abundantly. Remain blessed and wish you the best holidays and Salah celebration. Thank you all. This was the letter the Chief of Staff to the Deputy Speaker, Idris Wasi, wrote on the behalf of the Deputy Speaker, who presided eventually over the matter, and also on behalf of Honorable Musa Saki Ada, who is the leader of the Northern caucuses in the Assembly. With this letter, do we have Northern Nigerian National Assembly, Southern Nigerian National Assembly, or do we have a Nigerian National Assembly? The answer should come from you. Let us turn to another thing. Now, again, let us look at INEC counters lawmakers. We have capacity for electronic transmission of election results in remote areas. This is very, very crucial. Please, listeners, listen to this. In the first place, I know that the battle for that electoral reform has just begun. I cannot see that section 52 subsection 2 added to subsection 3 as carried by legislators, yes or no, that it will stand. I am not a lawyer, and until I graduate and I'm called to the bar, I will never dive into matter. But even as not being a lawyer, I know that the Nigerian Constitution did not submit the authority of INEC to any other organization in the world, not even the National Assembly. That is called Independent National Electoral Commission. The authority of functionalism of INEC is not subjected to the presidency, is not subjected to the president, is not subjected to the National Assembly, neither is it subjected to either the Senate or House of Representatives or any other body in Nigeria.
But Guru, that is the ideal stance, but do we have that in practice?
That is where I'm going, my brother. I'm saying this with tears on my eyes. But in bringing in coming to rubbish what we call transparent election and transferring of same, the National Assembly invited NCC and asked NCC, can INEC do this? NCC now came to say less than 50% of the national network has no coverage to transmit. It means, and the amendment now carries that subject to the capability of NCC to get around the whole country, INEC therefore is limited to do this and do that. And what do we have at the end of the day? The bill has been come on board waiting for presidential assent because I think they are now on leave, salary leave. But the question is this: has the matter changed? I think I know that very soon the Supreme Court will come to interpret it. But one thing that we must notice is that it is when they now brought some amendment, they changed a few things for a few things to come to be. But at the end of the day, Festus Okoye is the Chairman Commissioner for Information and Voter Education in INEC. He said, we have uploaded results from very remote areas, even from areas where you have to use human carriers to access, including Borno, including somewhere in Zamfara. So we have made our own position very, very clear that we have the capacity and we have the way to deepen the use of technology in the electoral process. But our powers are given by the Constitution and the law, and we will continue to remain within the ambit and confines of the power granted to the Commission by the Constitution and the law. This is the conclusion of that man. But he tried to outwit Nigerians. The National Assembly saw the wisdom of inviting NCC, which I will repeat again, has no power to supervise INEC. And they knew only NCC would come. And the man came and read us abracadabra.
Guru, for the purpose of educating the public, let me read the regulatory function of the Nigerian Communications Commission as posted on their website in accordance to Section 70 of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003. The Commission is empowered to make and publish regulations on matters such as, but not limited to, written authorizations, permits, assignments, and licenses granted or issued under the NCA 2003, the assignment of rights to spectrum or numbers, and then communication-related offenses and penalties. So, according to the Act, there's nothing here that states that NCC is supposed to supervise or give advisory role to INEC.
Thank you very much, I do. Thank you very, very much. Like as I told you, I have tears. It is good that you are not seeing me. I have tears on my eyes as I'm reading this. When the Executive Commissioner of the Nigeria Communication Commission, that's Adeleke Adewale, came, he now said only 50% of the country has the 3G coverage required for transmission. And this is a blatant lie.
But you don't need internet to send all messages now. There's GSM network, there's satellite, there are 1,000,001 ways to send information.
Adu, apart from that, just a few months ago, this NCC told the whole world that Nigeria network coverage had moved to 87%. So we shall bring all this to bear, but I know that the Supreme Court will have a few tough days ahead. And the Supreme Court cannot run away from the fundamentals of the Nigerian Constitution. And if the Supreme Court now says that INEC power is not subjected to any authority in Nigeria, then I know what will happen. Then we now ask them. And now, what we have saying, Ovioma Agege, the deputy Senate president, has now said he did not vote against it too. But look at his narration. The technicality is so absurd that you cannot see anything to pick out of it. Having said that, what next? Let us go and see those who voted for and those who did not vote for. Is it necessary? Is it necessary?
Well, Guru, as long as the audience will get to know.
That's good. Now, let me put it this way. Another thing, before I come to that, is that President Muhammadu Buhari approved 6.25 billion for ranching in Katsina. Governor confirmed 5 billion paid already. My thought, again, I would defer to lawyers. Was this money approved by President Muhammadu Buhari to Katsina State, his own state? Is it taken out of security votes, which is not to be audited? Or is it part of allocation of the national budget as approved by the National Assembly? We need to know. And again, 6.25 billion for ration, already 5 billion paid out. The governor admitted it. So, meaning the federal government is now involved in individual private business because ration is not government business. It remains an individual business interest. When shall the president release at least half of that to my association that the real pig in Delta State? We need to know this. Is the money taken out of the security vote, or was it part of a budget that was approved by the National Assembly? What about this abnormality? And did the Kano state government, that where the governor had gone so far, arranging for ranching that is even inviting Omiyete Allah that they should come, they will have enough land and go and has built something? Are they the same? Is it one country? Is President Muhammadu Buhari president for Nigeria or president for particular state or Katsina state president? We want to know. I don't know. So I'm asking those who will be willing to help to know this straight away, because let me go to the electoral this thing before I now call Mr. Gadi to come and tell us his area of specialty. Now, the amended powers the Nigerian Communication Commission. Let's forget about that. Let's go for those who say yes and those who say no. In the midst of the rancor, disagreement around the Senator Eyinaya Abaribe called for a division where all the lawmakers had to vote individually. Below is a compilation of senators' votes for or against electronic transmission of election results. Senators who voted that INEC should transmit election results when and where practicable are 1. Eyinaya Abaribe, Francis Adeniba Fadosi, 3. Clifford Odia, 4. Matthew Urohide, 5. Young Isafonos, 6. Josie Kibo, 7. Biodo Lujimi, 8. Piggy Baranade, Betty Apaifa, Philip Aduda, Shukuka Utaze, Ibrahim Abdullahi Dambaba, Dajimo Laha, Francis Oyewushi, Patrick Ayo, Atiele Lure, Kola Balogun, Eikaye Akon 18, Christopher Serika Dixon, Cleopas Zuwogi, Emmanuel Okajev, Sandy Ono, Gasham Basi, James Manager, Obina Ogba, Sam Egu, Nashi Ama Michael, Basi Abat Bas, 28 of them. Senators who were upset, listen to this: Theodore Oji, Yaro Binos Dauda, Stella Odwa, Ike Ekwere Madu, Patrick Ifeanyuba, Tokubo Abiru, Bala Ina Naila, Tolu Odebiyi, Ibikule Amosu, Olaleko Mustafa, Nicholas Towofolo, Tessis Folari, Buhari Abdul Fatih Tai, Aliu Omako, Ibrahim Chekao, Lilian Ushe, Ekwenife, Gabriel Susan, Abamoro, Mohammed Bukashwa, Emmanuel Basha, Mohammed Hassan, Olubumi Adetumbi, Shimoroke Namani, Roshas Okorosha, Mohammed Sabo, blah blah blah. Because of time, final vote figures on the electronic transmission: ayes 28, nays 52, absent 28, non-abstain. This is the record. Total votes 80. Total number of registered senators 109. So now, what I will do is that this afternoon I will post this into my website.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to have the details should go to my website and check it out. www.godwintheguru.com. I repeat it again. www.godwintheguru.com. Adu, I think at this place, let me call on Mr. Obaro Ogadi to please tell us the little he knows, but I know he knows too much, about the PIB. Obaro, you are welcome with us.
Thank you.
He's looking all blue here, Guru. So we might want to charge him for blue.
Oh, really?
Yes. Blue mask, blue native, blue shoe, everything blue. He's even sitting in a blue chair.
What the blue? Shoe blue, shirt blue, blue, everything blue, and sitting on blue chair. You are conspiracy to this Amanda, because you provided the blue chair for him. You are welcome.
Just good.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Guru, good morning. And Mr. Adu, thank you for the hospitality. Listeners, good morning to you.
Please, tell us a little thing. The oil producing community, they are now entitled to 3%. 3% given to them by the federal government, of 3% given to the contractor. And what is the new interpretation of oil states, or what do you call it? And what is this 30% of go to explore and look for oil in some basins? And maybe one or two other things. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Guru, once again. And before I go ahead, Mr. Guru, I need to remind you that, don't forget, I've told you privately before that there are specific administrations that can only pass this bill. And for Nigerians who do not know, the administration from 2010 to 2015 can never and will never have passed that bill. This is what is playing out now. And when you look at the bill, I must say quite detailed and well put together, but only 2 sections are destroying this bill. And what is the section? Chapter 3, which is for the host community development, and the 30% allocation for frontier offshore exploration. Just this past Thursday, a lawmaker from Bauchi State moved a motion that was shut down that Bauchi should be added to oil producing states because there is exploration activities going on in Bauchi State. Another thing that people should also know is this: every single barrel of crude oil in Nigeria is known. Every single barrel of crude oil in Nigeria is known, and the data are intact with the IOCs, specifically the major one. Number one of them, I don't want to mention their name. You know, in Nigeria today, you have the NPDC, and when you remove N from PDC and add S, that is another company. So one of these two have every data of every single barrel of crude oil in this land. Then coming to the frontier basin, let me start with the frontier basin. We all know where the frontier basin are, northern Nigeria. There is significant incentive in the current PIB bill. It is 7 7.5% royalty payment. If you are oil company that discovers oil in the frontier basin, your royalty payment to the Nigerian state is 7.5%.
7.5.
Yes. While deep offshore, it is 10%. Then, shallow water, that is water about 200 meters depth, is 10% as well.
Okay.
So, it means that if you are an oil company, if you locate oil in the basins, you're going to earn more for yourself. This is, and another thing, a few months ago, I think a governor of one southern state, yes, Obaseki, was saying that the international oil companies are leaving Nigeria. It is not true. They're leaving only the onshore field and the marginal field. And the reason they're leaving is this. They know the volume of oil to be explored. Some of those reservoirs and some of those fields have already started undergoing secondary recovery. And they're running away also from...
What's the meaning of secondary recovery?
Okay, secondary recovery is that the oil you recover primarily is immediately you drill the reservoir. The oil comes out by itself. But secondary recovery means that you begin to insert artificial means by either water flooding, steam injection, semi-submersible pump to recover more oil. And another thing that Nigerians need to know so that we don't betray our emotions when we call because of this PIB bill. It is not the intention of the government to actually give anything to the Niger Delta communities. I will come to that. Let me finish with the 30% first. Now, if you have significant oil in the frontier basins, you don't need to give anybody any money to go and exploit it, because there is already a provision by the Act of 7.5%. That is more than enough. That is more than enough incentive for any serious-minded oil prospecting companies to go and carry out the exploration by themselves, develop the field, and produce oil and make bumper harvest. Okay? Now, why is it that the NNPC wants to be at the forefront of oil exploration activities? The new Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited should raise their own funds and carry out these exploration activities without transferring the burden on the Nigerian ports. Look, Guru, let us not deceive ourselves. I'm not here to tell anybody government lies. And it is what it is. Oil in those basins is not of commercial viability.
Quantity.
So, because of this, and the cost of producing the oil is unimaginably too high. Look, if there is oil in those places, and we have insecurity challenges in those places, I guarantee you, the IOCs will solve that insecurity problems and take the oil. It's a fact. They will solve it and take that oil. That put aside. Because the onshore royalty is 22.5%. So you can say you have a difference of 15% free. Why don't they want to go into it? Because it is not commercially viable. And yes, another thing, when you talk of this new Petroleum Act, you have another one separately for deep offshore regulations that was previously passed before this one. And because of that bill that has been passed, and it satisfies a section of this country and the IOCs that actually caused the delay of this PIB for these years alone. That is the reason why the Bonga oil field west is being developed for another 20 years.
For another 20 years?
Yes. That is the reason why they paid $8.7 billion to the federal government of Nigeria. We will jump on when you hear $8.7 billion, but look at the contrast. Oil to be pumped per day, 225,000 barrels per day. The quantity of oil to be recovered primarily alone from that field is being processed by the floating, loading and offloading facility called Bonga. It means that the feed is being processed, it is being produced in one place. That saves cost. Total volume of oil to be recovered primarily is worth over $300 billion. The federal government of Nigeria is entitled to only about $30 billion from $300 billion.
Wow.
That,
these are negotiated by Nigerians?
of course, is in the contrast. So, yes, I urge Nigerians to actually read the bill, the Petroleum Act, so that you make your contribution from an informed point. It is just five chapters. Chapter 3 talks about the host communities. Chapter 2, the upstream and exploration activities. But when you look, and only 252 pages, 319 sections, and 8 schedules. And when you look at chapter 3 again, that is the host communities 3%. The executive proposed 2.5%. Then the Senate adjusted 2.5 to 3%, and the lower house,
the House of Representatives.
yes, initially they approved 5%. The executive have done their calculation of what comes to the southern region, the Niger Delta region. Not only that, they've also factored in the cost of what they termed oil infrastructure vandalism, oil theft. This is the reason for this 3%. They want to guarantee the smooth flow of oil. Don't forget that not too long ago, the Minister for Information and Culture said that they're losing 200,000 barrels of crude oil per day.
Yes.
They want to guarantee, they want to put a stop to that. Guru, I ask you, in your own reasoning, the people taking 200,000 barrels of crude oil per day, you think 3% of operating costs could stop that?
3% of operating costs.
Yes, when you talk about it,
Tell us.
when you talk
Talk
about
to us.
the chapter 3 is on section 240, you'll find it, the 3% allocation. Then when you come down again, there is a provision that if oil infrastructure are vandalized, take for example, blowing up of pipelines, or there are protests, you stop oil companies from carrying out production, there are consequences. You forfeit the 3% payment to the host communities. And another thing that I expect people to also fight is that the management committee of this same 3% payments might not necessarily come from the host communities. The board of trustees, yes. Not even all of them. And the companies have a major say in selecting who and who should be in the board of committee and the management committee.
Of that 3%.
I am telling you, when you look, it is out there. It is not. I'm quoting from the bill, and not only that. So, how do you determine and how do you entrust the host community to go and police oil infrastructure for just 3%? And when you divide 3% to the host communities, it's just like someone say, "Oh, I gave 50 billion to 200 million Nigerians." When their money is shared, let's assume the money is shared equally. Will you participate in such sharing?
No.
So nothing has been given to the Niger Delta and host communities.
Okay, Mr. Gary, hold it there. The question is this. Please interpret to my own understanding, and I know too many Nigerians I must say too. The 30% of is it financing of what to those? That's number one to the what do you call them now? Those business. Then another one is that now, as those states that piping goes through their neighbor or goes through their territory, what are they entitled to now? And what makes the difference between those states and even the oil producing communities that have been bastardized? What's the difference?
Guru, there is no difference. Because the intention of the government was actually, they don't care about the environment, and the IOCs, they don't care. What they actually care about is just whatever means they can take the oil away and continue enjoying their lives. That is the reason why you look at all the major oil companies, all their head offices are not in the Niger Delta. Do you know why? If I tell you the reason why Shell, they don't brand their vehicles, they were the first major company that removed, their vehicles were initially branded, but they don't brand them. They removed the branding. That's a story for another day. To keep
No, please, Mr. Gadi, please.
I still want to talk about the section 205, which talks about refining, petroleum importation, and all that, sir. This one affects Nigerians more.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead briefly, please.
So, basically, when you look at it, the government has been desperately searching for oil in the north. They've been spending our money in search of oil in the north.
I know.
Very soon, the government will say, come and tell us that they found oil in Igneous Rock. Even, because you cannot drill Igneous Rock. Even if you find oil under Igneous Rock, you can only access that oil because oil cannot be inside Igneous Rock because there is no permeability, no porosity, nothing, no space to house the oil. So you can only access that through directional drilling because you can only find that in sedimentary rocks and sediment and soft reservoirs. But when you look at the 30%, because just like the NNPC can just wake up one day and tell you, oh, they spent 120 billion. Nigeria consumes 60 million liters of fuel per day. There is no result, no empirical data to prove that. In fact, the NNPC boss was justifying that 60 million liters per day that if they fail to pump anything less than 60 million liters, there will be queues in the filling station. That does not take into account that the product you're pumping is being taken away by criminals and people who are well vested in this government.
Okay. What again do you think we should know, please? Just in less than 3 minutes.
Section 205, we talk about downstream. When you hear downstream, upstream simply means production, the production field where you produce crude oil. Then downstream means refining, then marketing, then midstream gas. Nigeria has abundance of gas. Then the downstream, section 205, talks about product marketing, pricing, and tariff regulation. In a deregulated market, what regulation means? In section 205, give free will of the market to determine prices. Then when you come to the subsection of that same 205, there is a provision that says that only companies in Nigeria that has refining capabilities.
Yes.
And refining capabilities does not include modular refineries.
Okay. So if include modular refineries,
there are no modular refineries, no either condensate refineries either. So when you remove modular don't forget that Nigeria has 3 modular refineries, one in Port Harcourt, one in Imo State, then one in Anambra State. So these people are cleverly shut out, leaving Dangote and the NNPC alone.
My
And
God.
don't forget that not too long ago, the Nigerian government acquired 20% stake in a 650,000 barrel per day processing refineries. But we should ask the same man who is acquiring 20% stake in a private refinery that, look, Oga, you have a 445,000 barrel per day refineries to run. Why are they not operating and should be made competitive?
Well, is that not why they are spending $1.5 billion in...
The $1.5 billion
in Port Harcourt?
is a privatization program. It is based on rehabilitate, operate, and transfer.
Guru, should we take some calls now and some messages?
No, that is why I told him that in just 3 minutes, because definitely we have come to the era that we must open our lines. Mr. Gadi, thank you very much, but we are not going away because most of the messages that we shall be receiving and calls that will be coming with direct questions to you. Please stay with us until we come to the end of today's segment. Adu, please, Mike Imodu will tell us, give them grammar.
Okay. So if you want to join us, WhatsApp 0809 234 5913 0809 234 5913 and 015150 913 015151 913. Use those to join us live in the studio. This one says, God bless the Guru and Adu. May God continue to use you as a vessel of honor. One does not need the gift of clairvoyance to know that APC massively, according to him, rigged 2019 elections, and they are poised to rig 2023 elections, again with flagrant defiance. It says, defiance, beg your pardon. It says that's why they are putting treacherous machinery and insidious tactics in place. APC came with deception and robbed Nigerians with barefaced brigandage. And APC consists of pathological liars. And it says Buhari is the worst president Nigeria has ever had. Atanda Olawale speaking there.
Wow.
Okay, very strong words, Atanda. Chike from Akute says, good morning, Adu and the Guru. FG's getting their priorities wrong. Problem isn't Father Kuka's address. It's how far they've gone in addressing the myriad of challenges bedeviling the nation now. Lawal has no excuse in respect of e-voting. It's now, I know, our politicians have no shame, he says. Something that will make elections better, they simply say nay. So where do we go from here? Chike is asking. One more before we go to the phone lines. Adigboyega Adedeji says, good morning, Adu and the Guru. Is it that the Southern Senators in National Assembly and House of Representatives were threatening to vote against the electronic transmission of votes, or did they take the decision based on stomach infrastructure? All Southerners should cover their face in shame. We are our own problem. Buhari has come to take all rights and freedom away under the disguise of repentant Democrat who will save us from his hands. All right. Phone lines are buzzing.
No, I do, please. Just a word for Adigboyega.
Okay.
By next week or maybe tomorrow, because since we don't know what to see now in happening, so one has to be very, very careful. Maybe tomorrow I will bring to our notice how the Southwest senators betrayed in this matter. You saw a letter have been written thanking all northern carcasses that rubbish sat down stand in this matter. But how the Southwest betrayed after receiving the telephone call from Lagos. We should talk it. Go ahead.
All right, let's take some calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Ado. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Peter.
Yeah, Mr. Obaro, good morning, sir. God bless you. And the guru, God bless you, sir. Now, I want to just ask a question. Mr. Obaro, I am from Akwa Ibom State, one of the oil-producing communities. My question is, what is our stand at the moment as the people from Niger Delta and the oil producers? What, are we going to accept this? If we are not accepting this, what should be the next line of our action? Because everybody knows that, if I'm not mistaken, almost 80% of the revenue that sustains this country comes from the oil and the Niger Delta. What's our stand? And on those senators that have centered themselves from voting, I think we need their name. Nigerians will be very, very aware and watchful that the next election, we should make sure that none of these people will smell that house any longer. And for those that have thought they have rubbished the southern governors, and the southern governors keep short, my question is, are the southern governors, senators, are they weak? Are they intimidated? Are they cowards? What should we do? If these people say Nigeria is not one, only when it comes to oil we are one, what should be our stand? Thank you.
Obaro, please gather the question so that we can be moving ahead. We will answer them later. Go ahead, Adu.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name, please? Where are you calling from?
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name, sir?
Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. Hello.
Okay, you cannot hear us, but we can hear you. Call us back. Hello, good morning. Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello? Hello? Yes, turn off your radio, please. Okay, please, when you call us, turn off your radio. It's important you do so. Hello, good morning. Hey.
What's happening today?
I don't know. People are not turning off their radio. Hello, good morning.
Off your mic.
Hello, good morning. Okay, let me go back to the messages. Please do call us back. Do apologize for that. Turn off your radio when you call us. Good morning, Adu. Recently, CPO Dumosu and the police arrested some youths claiming they were cultists and robbers. I'm telling you, many of these guys are innocent. Speaks in Yoruba here. It says the nemesis at the corner, they have not learned from other people's lesson. May God bless Nigerians. Yusuf from Ikeja. Okay, we'll look into that, Yusuf, on the police arrest. Philip from Surulere says, good morning to the gentleman in the studio. My submission this morning is that this government is always busy chasing the minor and leaving the major. If we're having insecurity, famine, economic failure in the country, and the government, who is supposed to look for solution to these problems, is saying someone is reporting a matter that is glaring to the world, that is an unserious government. I personally regret voting, he says, incompetent people. Okay, let me try the phone lines again. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Adu, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Can you turn off your radio, please?
All right, my name is Fidelis.
All right, Fidelis, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I want to ask your guest, what is the meaning of a frontier basin? Then, on the Electoral Act, I am disappointed, as in utmost disappointed on the...
Sorry, sir, we lost your call. Do call us back. Numbers 0809-234-5913. You can also call 015150-913 and 015151 913. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, your boy Tunde speaking.
Yeah, Tunde, good to have you here.
Daddy Guru, I salute you, sir.
I salute you with respect.
For the day, your birthday. We are going to celebrate in that studio that day. Quickly, sir. I've been asking these questions. How can we get deliverance from these politicians? Something that will give us a good reputation, not only in Nigeria, but across the world. The senators and the House of Representatives rejected it. They said majority carry the vote. The other senators that love it, they also tried their best. So in the House of Representatives, the matter caused problem between them. But these people, these APC people, that call themselves Progressive Party, when they were taking Nigeria backwardness, and they call themselves progressive, as they were doing to this country, God will also do the same thing for them, so that they will know that what they were doing, they cannot just go scot-free. Can we remain like this for how long in this country? They believe in political talk, how to rig election. 80% of northern youth, Ogadu, we are not educated. I'm telling you the truth. And that is why Ali Dumeka be saying that you cannot transmit the election. And the annex said they can do it. Oh, it is well. What is the way forward? I'm ready to do anything to make sure that this country is good.
All right, sir.
We'll talk about that later.
Let's take some more calls. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear us? Hello?
Good morning, Adu.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Akpan.
Salute to you.
Akpan, my man. Go ahead.
Obaro, I no cut cap for you. I throw a cap for you, Obaro. You are too much. The Guru, you saw the letter you read. It's a shame to we Nigerians from the South. If we keep playing this politics, I am not sure nothing will favor us. Nothing will favor us. If those are few that are making money from the government, it's just a matter of time. I was a strong supporter of Buhari, but I lost hope in him. If they feel that rigging is the end thing to get to power, some people were there for 12 years. Some people were there for 12 years, but they still lost the election. It will one day, it's every day, and it will come. And they'll be accountable for every money that has been missing in Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay. God bless you.
All right, let me go back to the phone lines. And Chief Udo was saying, good morning, Adu and the Guru. I'm happy the letter written to northern lawmakers by deputy speakers was made public. And I asked, how long will the southern lawmakers keep shooting themselves in the foot? As is it not clear to them that they have been made to look inferior mentally and intellectually? On electronic transmission, thank God INEC has said they have the capacity. Now let me see how INEC, who were backed by law as electoral umpire, will be regulated by NCC that is not backed by law for elections. Chief Udo speaking there. Okay, still on WhatsApp. Good morning. As Governor of Zamfara State said, North is problem of themselves and North is problem of Nigeria as well. There's Leo from Lagos. Let me take one more from WhatsApp. Tony from Marine Beach says, good morning, Adu and the Guru. The Northern Caucus sent a dummy that the Southern legislators fell for. They presented a debate of 3% and 5% as a distraction against the 30% for frontier states. In the long run, they may revert to the 5% to pacify likely aggression, especially from militants, but the 30% issue remains silent. A done deal. That's the trick. As for e-transmission, he says, that will definitely be challenged in court because INEC is an umpire. You don't dictate to the referee in your contest. This one is definitely government against the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go back to the phone line, sir. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Adi.
Good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm the Guru. Three of you are doing a wonderful job for us Nigerians. The Guru, Mr. Adu, and Mr. Barry. First and foremost, I want to ask, Mr. Barry was saying something about Shell, that they don't brand their name on their deck. I want him to explain to us what he means by that. And secondly, we understand that the 3% to the oil community is not even from the federal government, it is from the oil company.
Yes.
We understand. And thirdly, we now understand that the North have already separated this country, not the South. So we are no longer one Nigeria. That is what we have to establish. We are no longer one Nigeria. The North, if the chief of staff of the deputy senate president or the deputy house of Reps can write such a letter to their members congratulating them for what they've done, that means it's a clear indication that we are no longer one Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Guru, I think we should have some reactions from Mr. Obaru now.
No, if I do, please let me add this. Obaru,
Sir.
you have less than 3 minutes maximum, because we should be moving to our knowledge drop box and 1 or 2 ways to draw up the curtain. But the question is this: the 3% even, is it being paid by the government from the money we made or by the operators?
Straight up, no, it's from the settlers. That is the oil companies. So government never gave any.
Explain this to us, plus the question the man asked you just now.
The settlers, that is the oil companies operating in those host communities, their annual expenditure. Their annual expenditure. So because of this 3% now, you begin to see that the annual expenditure will massively drop. Then another thing I want to ask is this: before the late 90s, there were no pipeline vandalism, oil infrastructure disturbances. Who determines if a pipeline ruptured on its own or it was vandalized? That is one. Then another thing is this: in the early 90s, yes, Shell came up with this policy of laying off their former staffs who grew, understood their operation and operated their machines and their equipment efficiently to bring graduates. In the process, one of a major crude processing line got destroyed by these new employees. Dutch technicians were flown into the country and to resuscitate that particular line. I don't want to mention the code of the line. They resuscitated it and they wrote a technical report to Shell that the people who were manning this flow line should be returned immediately. And guess what were their salaries? These expatriates they flew in, these technicians, the salaries in the early 90s were 450,000 per day, excluding lodging, hotel accommodation, and etc. etc. That is one. So if a similar occurrence happens and the companies sponsor some the disgruntled element to come and do some riots in the operating facility and claim that it is a community that did this to forfeit the expenditure, the 3%, who determines that? That is when. Then coming to Amanze, what will the Sultanate do? It is obvious for some people who say that, the government is a listening government. The government listens. It's a father, is this, is that. The government only understands only one language. Only one language. Okay. Don't forget before now, some other people were agitating.
What's the language?
Some other people were agitating. If 48 inches is not transmitting crude oil, there will be an emergency meeting. In fact, private jet will be sent to pick people up for emergency meeting at Abuja. And if ROVPS is shut down, trust me. So when people say that militants will come and bomb the jetty here, what is the jetty? When you stop the flow of cars over there, the jetty runs down. They are ignorant of that.
Now, Obaru.
Yes.
Please, the last question is this. Most of those pipes laid, are the lifespan not really expired? As some of them are the last pipe not really expired.
Because those pipes are steel pipes, and where they go under, if they are well insulated, they could last forever.
Okay.
They could last forever. Then when you talk about the pipeline as well, there is also the Pipeline Act. So bringing the pipeline to come and benefit from this 3% is a creation of, I don't really know.
Abracadabra. There was someone who asked Guru before we go into the knowledge drop box about the revelation. We're talking about the branding. Is just you want to give just one or two so the person knows?
I do. This your Adidas jacket. I love it though. If you're right.
Is this Obama, do you want to talk of the branding?
They are going to send you a bill from downstairs.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I take that back. But if you write you can see now.
Yes.
Everywhere you go, everybody did you tell me before I know?
No. Interesting. Guru,
Okay.
I think we can move on now.
Yes, please take us through the needful to drop the knowledge droppers. Go on.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be right back shortly.
It's time for Knowledge Drop Box.
Yes, we are back. Guru.
Yes. Our knowledge drop box today is very, very short because I believe I shall be doing a more thorough job on it. Today is July 19. 5 days ago was July 14. July 14, 2020, my own dearly beloved daughter, our own dearly beloved daughter, the first Nigerian woman, combat helicopter pilot, flying officer, Tolulope Arotile, died at the age of 24. He was murdered. Either accidentally or not accidentally, I don't understand the interpretation of those English. She went on there, she did Nigeria proud, she did the whole world proud. She dismantled banditries in Niger State and where she flew to the discomfort of bandits and their... Today I can talk of bandits because tomorrow I may not want to talk of bandits again. But she died. So 5 days ago, completed 1 year of her returning back to her creator. Our hearts still remain broken. My heart remains broken for that beautiful, brilliant girl who went to Italy for additional course, and the Italian government really wanted to absorb her. But she said no, she must go back home. And she did what many men were not even able to do. It was killed on ground. She did not die on there. May her soul keep resting in perfect peace. My heart grieves as I invite many Nigerians to please come together and see what we can do to immortalize her name forever and ever. May her gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Amen. And amen. Then next week, Monday, I shall be celebrating the following. Olayinka Adeoye. Because 23rd of this month, which is a few days from now, we have Badi. She is a cardiology telegrapher. I think one of the first Nigerian registered cardiology telegrapher. Her name is Olayinka Adeoye. Very, very beautiful lady. I shall equally be celebrating our own, Maureen Alasa, who on 22nd, tomorrow is 20, Wednesday is 21st, Thursday is 22nd. It's Maureen Alasa's birthday. Maureen Alasa is our own. It's my own. Adu is your own.
Are you sure?
Maureen, I'm congratulating you in advance, but next week, Monday, I will celebrate you bigger. Then the third person is Dr. Mirabe Wusu. Dr. Mirabe Wusu is one of the cardiologists we have in this country. She, on the 24th of this month, that is 2 days after Maureen, 1 day after Olayinka, is her birthday. I will be celebrating them next week, Monday, in a very, very big way. All right, this is the message advertised ahead. And I want to thank everyone, mostly Mr. Obarogadi. Thank you very, very much. The fountain of your knowledge will never dry up.
Amen.
As you are out to do good by bringing facts out, God will increase you in all fronts.
Amen.
The PIBB we're talking is passed already by the traitors and choppers and whatever, by the legislator, by the honorable and dishonorable, by the distinguished and the distinguishables. Let us see that upheaval that will follow. If it is carried like that by President Aseti to it, will not be too much to shoot our tranquility. And of course, like as I said, please join me in my website, like it, subscribe, comment, and share. www.godwintheguru.com. I've told you the number of either House of Representatives or Senate that voted for and against, and those who want to be president of Nigeria, yet they abstain. They refuse to say a word. You will know them. They are going into my website this afternoon. Before the hours of 100 hours, they would have been there. And of course, what again? Follow me Facebook, Godwin Etakiwebu or Vetra Column, many of them. We are not yet back to the world of tweeting, so nothing like Twitter. And that phone number, which some people started calling as early as 4 a.m. this morning, I probably will strike the phone number off now because the purpose I met it for is not being followed. But for now, it still remains 0906 887 0014. 0906 887 0014. Please, short messages. Don't call it again because I will not answer it. Short messages. And of course, what more?
Guru, can you hear me?
Godwin the Guru, my YouTube channel. And I want to appreciate everyone. I do thank you very, very much. And to every other person and listeners, you who call in, please let's keep elongating the frontiers of the discussion.
Guru, can you hear me? Okay, I think we lost this call. So, that suffices to say, until next week and, of course, tomorrow on the Morning Digest, where I and the Guru will be back again for another edition of the show. It's Lagos Talks 91.3 FM, and thanks for listening.